Well, shit.
Aren't you glad you live inside? Yeah.
Hey folks, my name is Jen, and today, on this very wintry day, I am going to talk to you very appropriately about my winter vibes. Been around here a while, you know that I do seasonal vibe videos, and I tend to talk about the things that I'm up to over the seasons, things that I'm following the five senses. So sight, hearing, taste, all of that, basically breaking down into what I've been watching, what I've been listening to, what I've been doing, eating and drinking, and sense of the season, basically. Let's start with the things that I have been watching. Things that I have been watching over the past couple of months. I know I'm kind of late to the game with my winter vibes, almost the end of February. Basically, if we think about what I was into back in December specifically, it was mostly like Christmas movies. I watched actually not that many of them, to be honest. I watched It's a Wonderful Life with my mom. We ended up not watching it around Christmas. We ended up watching it, I think the day after or something like that. And then also, of course, watch Christmas Vacation every year. Like, that's a must-do, basically. And we also ended up, me and my husband, watching The Hogfather, which is based off of the Terry Pratchett novel. It was made into like a little bit of a mini-series, I think, and I remember watching it in college. I can't remember which one of my friends ended up introducing us to it all at college, but I remembered it being like really good. So yeah, we watched it, and it was excellent. Honestly, it was pretty excellent, and it was also kind of exciting to recognize a couple of actors in it from things that I've seen them in previously. So that was pretty cool. I highly recommend if you want a holiday-ish movie, but you're okay with it being a little bit bizarre and not exactly Christmas, something else. So yeah. What else have I been watching? Well, we started watching Frasier a little bit. That is a show that I grew up kind of watching. I wasn't technically supposed to watch it. I was supposed to be in bed, I think, by the time that it was coming on. But I ended up most of the time staying up to watch some of it. Anyway, I remember I ended up getting the whole box set for Christmas, so me and my husband have started to watch that, and I kind of watching it, I realized that I don't think I ever watched like the pilot episode, or if I did watch like the first season, I must have been like really young, and maybe I just don't remember it. I think I remember the later seasons a lot more. So if you don't know what that is, because it's been off the air for a while, Frasier is an offshoot of the show Cheers, which if you don't know what Frasier is, you probably really have no fucking clue what I'm talking about when I say Cheers. To be completely honest, I don't really remember that much of Cheers because that was on when I was very small. So yeah. But basically, Frasier is following Frasier Crane, who is a psychiatrist, psychoanalyst, yeah, basically, and he ends up getting divorced, and he leaves New England and moves back to Seattle, and his widowed father, he ends up having his widowed father move in with him, and so his widowed father is very, very different than him. Like, Frasier and his brother Niles are very fussy and cultured and hoity-toity, I guess, sometimes, and his dad is very blue-collared, no-nonsense, sarcastic, has the cutest dog ever, and is like, he was a cop at one time, and he's just very different, so a lot of their banter and hilarious things come from this difference. of between all of them, and then you also kind of add in Daphne, who is a ends up being his Frasier's dad's like caretaker, assistant, massage therapist, stuff like that. And you also add in that Frasier is a talk show host for like a psychological like talk show. Think like I don't know, Dr. Laura or something like that, except he actually does have a degree, and I actually don't know if Dr. Laura has a degree. Some of those talk show hosts call themselves things, but they're not actually licensed, or they're not licensed anymore, so I don't really know for certain, but he does actually have a degree. But yeah, anyway, it's funny. Probably a little dated, I'm guessing at some point, but so far it hasn't seemed that dated. It's just like hilarious shenanigans, misunderstandings, and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been watching that. I also have been wanting like different crime shows, something that's just a little bit different than my usual. So I think I started watching it in the fall, maybe, but I started watching Lucifer, which is a show where Lucifer Morningstar, as in the actual devil, has decided to run away from hell and come to Earth, and he's living there and running a nightclub, and ends up getting caught up in a murder case, and is so intrigued with the detective on the case that he decides to kind of end up becoming some sort of like consultant with them. Plus he's got like a little bit of supernatural powers, and it's very interesting. Apparently it is connected with like Marvel stuff, I think, or DC stuff. It is connected with some type of comic related things, but I can't remember which. But anyway, very entertaining show, but it has caused me to look up a bunch of things because I'm like, I don't remember that. But then again, I haven't read the Bible cover to cover, so there's some stuff that I wouldn't remember, to be honest, or don't know at all. What else have I been watching? Actually paused the episode to do this video. I am watching Prodigal Son as well, which is about a young man named Malcolm Bright. That was not his name growing up. He changed his name to Bright. His name growing up was Whitley. He changed his name because his father is one of the most prolific serial killers that New York State had ever seen. Actually, I think the U.S. had ever seen. In the 1990s, Malcolm ended up calling the police on his dad and reporting that he found a body in the basement. And yeah, his dad was arrested and found out to be the serial killer. And Malcolm has not been dealing so well with it. He suffers from PTSD, tremors that are caused by, it's mostly like a neurological thing, and like his psychological more, and he's dealing with a lot, and dealing with the fact that the body that he found in the basement was never actually found, even though other evidence of his dad's deeds were found, were what got him caught. His dad has been in a psychiatric hospital for years, and he used to visit him, and then he joined the FBI, like the BAU, and he ended up getting thrown out of the BAU because someone got hurt on a case, and they took him off of leave and kind of blamed his psychological stuff on that. The cop who was there for him when he was a kid and who helped arrest his dad ends up asking him to consult on a case, and then he ends up becoming a consultant with the police solving crimes. And there's also like a lot of cat and mouse things going on with his dad, where he is trying to figure out the truth of his childhood between repressed memories and nightmares that he keeps having, and his dad is like messing with him a little bit, but also seems to want a relationship with him. He has a very complicated relationship with his mother and his younger sister, and it's him helping to solve cases, but at the same time there's like this overarching storyline of him trying to find out the truth behind these night terrors that he has had, that he is convinced are repressed memories. So it's very fascinating and psychological, and yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. What else? Oh, I watched Haunted Hotel in January, and I freaking loved it. It's only like 10 episodes, I think, but I saw it did get approved for a season 2. I'm very excited. I can't wait for more of this. I highly, highly, highly recommend this. It's an animated series. It is about this woman and her 2 kids. They inherit this haunted hotel that her brother owned, and her brother died. But that's okay because his spirit is still there, kind of helping them run the hotel. Plus there's tons of ghosts and everything because it seems like there possibly is a portal to hell or something somewhere on the premises. There's also cryptids and weird shit happening in this area. And the kids, her son and daughter, are kind of coping with this in different ways. Her son is, I think he's supposed to be like maybe 13 or 14, and he is like coping with it by just being his sunny self, and then also getting enamored with one of the younger ghosts in the hotel. And then you have her daughter, who, man, she is just like, do you want me to figure out how to stop ghosts and defeat vampires and do crazy stuff like that? Maybe some black magic. I'll do a little bit of that. She's just crazy. And then there's also a child, a creepy child living there as well that they've kind of sort of adopted. His name is Abaddon, and that is because he is actually a demon that is stuck in the vessel that is a little boy from the 1700s. Abaddon is easily the best character out of the entire show. I love him deeply, and yeah, it's great. It's really entertaining. It's funny. There's a lot of humor in it. Will Forte is the voice of the brother who had previously owned the hotel, and it's so freaking weird and hilarious and crazy, and I love it a lot, and I probably will try to rewatch it again soon because I just really loved it. So if you're a fan of animated shows that are a little strange or just ridiculous, funny things, I highly recommend. It's wonderful. Especially if you just want something to bring you a little bit of joy right now. That definitely brought me a little bit of joy. What else have I been watching? Ranma Half. Whatever has been out, me and my husband were watching that. It's a reboot of it, basically. I honestly didn't really enjoy the original that much from what little I watched it back in like high school, I think. I'm honestly really enjoying the reboot despite myself. So Ranma Half is about a boy named Ranma. He is, I think he is Chinese, and he was raised in China anyway with his father, and one day he and his father were practicing fighting over these like ponds or wells or whatever they are, and him and his father fall in, and they're cursed from the water, and his father now, whenever he gets I believe cold water thrown on him, he turns into a panda, and or maybe it's hot water. I can't remember. It's one or the other. He gets turned into a panda, and Ranma gets turned into a girl, which complicates things when they move to Japan, because Ranma is betrothed to the youngest daughter of this dojo. It's an old friend of his dad's that runs the dojo and has like 3 daughters. And yeah, Ranma is technically betrothed to the youngest one, because he's supposed to co-inherit the dojo with her someday. And shenanigans ensue. Lots of shenanigans ensue. It's written by the same woman that wrote Inuyasha, so if you like Inuyasha, it's got lots of flavors of that in it. And it's really funny. And I really like the reboot. I also just started watching Yuri on Ice. I've only seen one episode so far. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. I was kind of looking forward to it because it's a figure skating anime, and it also has a little bit of boys love, I think, and I have never made it through a sports anime before. I've tried a couple of different ones and I just really did not like them, but I have high hopes for this one, especially because of how much figure skating I just recently watched, which brings me to Olympics. I watched the shit out of the Olympics. Loved it. Opening ceremony, great. I watched a hell of a lot of figure skating. How about that Alyssa Liu? Holy shit. And Kaori Sakamoto, oh my god, I'm so disappointed in myself that I now am like such a huge fan of hers, and this is like her last competition. She is now retiring. So I'm like, oh no. But I think it's just wicked cool that she is retiring to basically go home and help coach young skaters make their dreams, so which I think is just so wonderful. But yeah, I had such a good time watching all the figure skating. It was so gorgeous. I watched bobsledding, Go Jamaica. So happy that they have a team. Really happy they now have like a solo female pilot. That's so freaking awesome. And I love the fact that, like, I think this year was the first year that Trinidad and Tobago also had bobsled, so that's just so exciting that more places are like, no, we're gonna qualify for this sport. And I mean, I grew up watching Cool Running, so no matter what, I always root for Jamaica over our team because I like an underdog, and I really, really want them to continue to do so well. Yeah, had a great time with that. Watched some hockey. Oh my gosh, watched the entirety of the women's gold game, the US versus Canada. That was so freaking exciting. I hadn't really paid that much attention to the hockey overall, like, regular games because we don't have normal TV. We watch everything on the internet, but we don't have, like, I got like a short subscription to Peacock just so I could watch the Olympics, but I don't really want to continue to pay for it every month just because I know it's not that much money, but on top of everything else in this economy, it's a little bit much that could be used towards something else. So I can't really do like sports stuff all the time, but what little I do see, I tend to look at like Bruin stuff, but right now I'm slightly disappointed in the men's hockey team, so I'm putting all of my focus into women's hockey because this was stellar. Like, I loved it. That was such a good game. It was so cool. I now have a little bit of a girl crush on Aaron Frankel. Hello, coolest goalie ever. So I'm definitely gonna have to look into the Boston Fleet because that's the team that she's on, and there's other players on the team who are from Team USA that are also on that team as well. I'm gonna have to, I don't know, check it out, and I'll have to look up what their tickets cost because I've never been able to go to an NHL game because it's just wicked expensive and I can't justify it, but I don't know, if the prices aren't too bad, man, I'd love to go to a women's game. That'd just be awesome. Some snowboarding, not as much snowboarding as I would have liked. I saw Lindsey Vohn's crash, that was heartbreaking. And let's see, I did not watch any curling. I know everybody's been crazy about the curling, that is not my sport, so I didn't watch that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. The closing ceremonies were awesome. And yeah, I just really loved the Olympics, and I have to say, coming from a place where my mental health felt in the shitter, it felt really great to watch the Olympics and see the camaraderie not only between team members but between like the athletes in general. Just like the respect, the friendship, the camaraderie between everyone, you know, no matter what team, what sport, what everything everybody's in. And it just, I don't know, it's just served as a reminder that that is who we are. That is who we should strive to be. You know, not the terribleness that unfortunately a lot of our loudest members are showing over the past several years, but that is truly who we are as people. We are supportive and kind and brave, and yeah. So yeah, did wonders for my mental health, I think, and I'm kind of missing them already. But I know there's still the Paralympics, so I'm gonna try to see some of those events as well. And then let's see. Oh, the last thing I watched, of course, that was Heated Rivalry. I finally watched the show, and my God, I understand what everybody was raving about. That was amazing. It was so good. Everything from the cinematography, the humor, the spiciest scenes, the soundtrack to it, like everything was chosen so perfectly. I loved it. Between that and like the interviews and things I've seen, I also 100% understand why everyone's obsessed with Connor and Hudson. I'm mildly obsessed with them too now. And Jacob Tierney is amazing. And I can't wait for season 2 because I also read The Long Game and it was good. Yeah, kind of want to watch Letterkenny again because he's also a part of that as well. So that's everything that I watched, what I listened to. Christmas music back in December, a lot of that. I also listened to, in January, my playlist from last year. So every year I make a playlist, and it ends up being like a musical scrapbook of the year, kind of. And yeah, so I listened to that throughout parts of January. Then I also took a little bit of a dive into David Bowie's discography because he was mentioned in the Rocky Horror book that I got for Christmas, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I've actually listened to a lot of David Bowie other than, you know, listening to him in Labyrinth. So I took some time to listen to his music and realized going through them that actually I know a lot more songs of his than I thought I did, and there were a couple songs that I was like, okay, I knew that like Space Oddity was his, but there's a couple other songs I'm like going through and I was like, I've heard this before, this was David Bowie, and it's been fun. I have to say, I don't think his music is something that I could listen to all of the time. I think I'd have to be in like specific moods for it, but I do really enjoy it. I also did some listening to Meg Myers. There was a song of hers that I ended up listening to a lot last year and realized I haven't listened to anything else in that album, so I started listening to her other music. I really like her style. I'm still making my way through her music, but what I've listened to so far, I really like it. Same can be said of Acceptance. There is one song of theirs that is my absolute favorite, and I listen to it a hell of a lot, and I was like, maybe I should listen to their other stuff, and it's peak. I'm really enjoying myself making my way through there. There are specific songs, too, that I've been obsessed with. Since, like, the end of December, it has been Damocles by Sleep Token. I randomly decided to listen to Sleep Token's latest album just because of something that I was writing at the time. I was like, I kind of want this vibe, I think. So I'm going to listen to this album while I write it. And I heard Damocles, and that was just the end of it all. I have been obsessing over that song, like listening to it at least once a day, every day. I love it. I don't know. It's been on my mind. I love it a lot. I feel it deeply. parts of it, and yeah, I I adore that song, and the same can be said of Closer by Sleeping with Sirens. That one is also a song that I've been listening to at least once a day, every single day, since I first started really listening to that song, also back in January, I think. So yeah, those have been the two that I listen to all of the time. And then since I watched Heated Rivalry, it's been All the Things She Said by Tattoo, which is a song that I knew about already. Now I'm hearing it everywhere and it gets stuck in my head, so just been really into that. And for some reason, Wicked Game covers. The Chris Isaak original is alright, but I've been just listening to a lot of different covers of the song. Jack Black does one that I kind of like. But yeah, so I've just been really into finding really cool covers of that song and really enjoying it. So far, I think my favorite cover of Wicked Game, I really like the Hands Like Houses version and the Theory of a Dead Man version, but I think my favorite one is by Ursine Volpine and Annika. Yeah, it's really good. I really love it a lot. And then Podcast Zone. Let's see, The Usuals, My Bam Bam, Real Life Ghost Stories, Let's Not Meet, Podmortem, My Victorian Nightmare, all that good stuff. I've been listening to those, of course. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned it that much, but Tales from the Break Room. This is just like sharing stories that people send in from like their work or school and stuff like that, and some of them are probably true, and then some of them go completely off the rails, and this is not true. This is definitely not true at all, but it's entertaining anyway. Along those veins, I've also been really into Disturbed, which is a similar kind of concept. People send in stories, or they find them on like Reddit, and they read them out, and sometimes there's like sound effects, and that's pretty cool. That one, I've been like binging it. I don't think I like it as some of the others, like Let's Not Meet or Tales from the Break Room. I think I enjoy those a lot more. But Disturbed is not bad, exactly. I don't really like the fact that they have like recorded phone calls from like emergencies and stuff like that. That makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't really like when people do that. Let's see, Reading Smut. I still have been listening to that podcast and still enjoying it a lot because I have been reading a lot of smut. And then there were a couple others that I found in like December and binged the hell out of them in like December and January. One of them I binged entirely and am now caught up with, and the others I've been making my way through them. So one is actually one that I tried a few months ago and then I went back to. It's Bridgewater. So these are all like podcasts that are fictional. They're telling like a story and they have like a full cast oftentimes, or at least a small cast and everything, and Bridgewater I think is one of the biggest ones. It has to do with like the Bridgewater Triangle. It's really cool, especially because the Bridgewater Triangle is something that I am acutely aware of, so yeah, I find it incredibly interesting and really spooky. And then I also have been listening to Haunted, the audio drama, which has the same kind of vibes, but this one's set in like England, and it's more like creepy, supernatural, potentially demonic stuff going on, and it's very kind of cool and creepy. The one that I was super, super obsessed with back in December and part of January was Haunted House Flippers, which is just beautiful. It is about a couple that inherit this house from the dude's grandpa, and they move into this place and they're trying to fix it up and decide if they're gonna fix it up to sell it or fix it up to live there, and they keep finding creepy things. They have a very creepy encounters with like neighbors and there's very like weird shit happening. It's like a full cast and there's sound effects and it's just, oh my god, you guys, it's so good. It is so, so good. It reminds me of like the radio cast kind of, the old-timey radio shows. I used to have a couple of CDs and I would listen to them. I got them at like Cracker Barrel when I was a kid, and I used to like listen to them, and I really loved them because they were so entertaining, and it just gives me the vibes of that kind of. But Haunted House Slippers is done specifically because a couple, well, the guy in it thinks of himself as an amateur ghost hunter, so he is recording a lot of stuff. So a lot of it is like taken from recording devices, and so it's plausible that you're hearing all of this. It's, oh, it's so clever. It's so good. I really, really, really want them to continue making this so bad because it's so much fun. And then somebody who was on that show actually has his own called Boston Harbor Horror Presents, and he is like a Coast Guard dude investigating some weird shit happening in Boston Harbor, and that is also like weird shit that I'm acutely aware of just based on because I live in Massachusetts. So yeah, I'm really into all of this. I'm very into like this kind of fictional podcast realm right now, as well as like everything else, because I just have not been able to go back to my true crime as much as I have been. So I'm just in fictional land for a lot of it right now. I think that's it for listening, so let's go on to eating and drinking, I guess. Well, currently I have some tea. It's been all hot drinks lately. Hi, Banks. All hot drinks lately, lots of cocoa and stuff, lots of teas. I've also honestly been having like a pretty strong Coca-Cola addiction over the past several months. I had to, because of the anxiety medication I'm on, I had to adjust my caffeine intake because I used to have a cup of coffee to start the day, and now I can't always do that because sometimes it interacts with my medication, and the way that it interacts is it ends up my medication doesn't work as well. So instead, I have just been not getting coffee, or I save the coffee for specific days when I'm not going to have anything that is going to trigger my anxiety, or I shouldn't have anything going on. And or I have been saving my caffeine addiction for later in the day. So yeah, been having soda later on, and it's, yeah, Coca-Cola, Coke all the way. Just loving the shit out of it. Although recently I just got ginger ale because of a certain fictional hockey player. I was like, you know what, I'm in the mood for ginger ale, so there we have it. Let's see, what else? Oh, Christmas cookies back in December. I had baked 8 shit ton of Christmas cookies. Oh my gosh, so good. Peanut butter blossoms, these things called chocolate cordials. They're like chocolate cookies, and then you put maraschino cherries on them, and then you drizzle like a chocolate ganache over them, and oh my god, they're so freaking bomb. My grandma used to make them, so me and my mom always make them, and oh my god, they're the best ones. They go fast. What else did I make? Gingerbread. Of course, everybody loves gingerbread. And yeah, what other things? Oh, I made, for Valentine's Day, I made us blueberry crumble. We had that with some ice cream. It was delicious. And let's see, what else? Oh, these Drizzlicious things. They're like these like mini rice cake things. Yeah, mini rice cakes are like this big, and they're different flavors. So they currently have like a birthday cake, a cinnamon, and what's the other one? French toast. The French toast is bomb. The cinnamon one's not bad either. There was a s'mores one, but now it's like sold out all the time, and that's disappointing. But they're like really good, honestly. They're really good. What else? Oh, barbecue chicken, mac and cheese. I've just been making a lot of that for like lunch or just for the hell of it. And it's basically just I make a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese, and then when it's done and all cheesy, I take some canned chicken, or my husband's been getting rotisserie chicken that he cuts up for like lunches and stuff like that throughout the week. I might take some of that, and then I just put some barbecue sauce and mix everything together, and it makes barbecue chicken mac and cheese, and it's freaking delicious, and way better than regular mac and cheese. Let's see, scents of the season. Perfumes. My fall perfumes did not change them out, actually. I just kept them. So it's been like vanilla sugar and pumpkin pecan waffles the whole way. Let's see, pine everything. Pine everything for days. My cousin, actually, one of my cousins made me a pine candle, which I'm very excited about. Show you. Oh, it smells so good. Look, she made me a candle. And it's got like the pine, the balsam in there. Isn't that so cool? So that smells wonderful. I haven't burnt it yet. Oh my god, it smells so good. This one's almost done. It's vanilla. And this one I got for Christmas last year. I haven't burned this one yet either. I just kind of open it and let it waft around. It smells so good. It's sparkling berries. It's delicious. It smells honestly like a food or a drink I used to have when I was younger. Candles, baking stuff, chimney smoke. Walking around having chimney smoke. That's honestly one of my favorite smells from the winter, is chimney smoke and smelling the different types of wood that people do. When I was growing up in Vermont, my favorite one that I would smell, I could tell when people were burning like apple wood and stuff like from like apple trees and different stuff like that. I could tell based on just the sweetness of like different things that they were burning, and it'll smell pretty good. So that's just like a kind of nostalgic smell for me, and it's one of the few things that I like about winter. And then what have I been doing? Well, Christmas crafts, lots of Christmas crafts. I'll put up some images so you can see. I made some ornaments as usual. I made other random things for different people for Christmas, so I can show you all of those little things that I painted or decorated or did. And then I've also been knitting a lot. I'm actually currently making a baby blanket because one of my cousins is expecting, so yeah, I'm knitting her a blanket, but not many people know that, and yeah, I don't think anyone in my family watches this anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then let's see, other than knitting, I have been reading and writing. Reading, like I said, a lot of romance novels, a lot of different things. You've already seen my December and January wrap-ups, probably. I've already posted those, and it is almost the end of February right now. It's actually the 23rd, I think, so I should be posting my February wrap-up. I'm gonna try to post it a little earlier into March. Although I think the next video that you get after this is probably going to be my spring TBR. But hopefully my February wrap-up should be right after that. So, reading a lot of books. Not a lot of the books that I thought I was going to read, not a lot of the books that I planned to read, but I'm still pretty happy with what I did get through because they brought me joy, and my mental health has been a fucking cesspit, so you know what, I'll take it. So yeah, and then I've also been doing some writing. I've been trying to get back into the romance novel that I was writing, so I've been doing some of that, and I just submitted some of it to the writing group that I'm in, and I get to hear their thoughts about it tomorrow, which is exciting and also horrifyingly embarrassing. So we'll see how that goes. And also wanting to get back into journaling again because I think that might be a little bit helpful. Other than that, let's see. Oh, things with my brain. I've been doing adult coloring books. My parents got me for my birthday an adult coloring book and a really cool set of pencils. So yeah, I've I've been doing these, and it's been, I haven't finished that one, but it's been pretty cathartic. My problem with this is I get through them and then I get like distracted and I don't finish all of them. Like some of them I finished but not all of them. So yeah, I've been just kind of getting through everything slowly but surely. I really like that one. But yeah, I've been getting through everything and taking my time kind of. And then for Christmas, my friends got me a sticker book. I've seen these online. So like these sticker books that like, they come with like the stickers and then they have these blank rooms that then you follow along and you make them into things. So like, for example, this cute cow thing, and then I put all the stickers on and I made cute cows. Or this little rat cafe and I made a rat internet cafe. So yeah, I've been doing this like crazy. I'm already almost done with them all. Let's see, I'm saving this one for last because it looks the coolest. It's a little ghost shop. But let's see, where's the one that I'm currently working on? Oh, I'm currently working on this Strange Ghost Bride one. I was working on this last night. So I've got the remaining stickers I've got to put on. It's really fiddly because there's like tiny pieces and I've got to use these tweezers to do it. But yeah, that's been pretty fun. Other than that, it's just been looking for ways to help out with stuff that's going on. So looking for places to donate, which I have a couple of them listed down below for Minneapolis, and just looking for people to write to, like senators and congressmen and stuff. So just trying to do something, feel like doing something, and just kind of dreading the wait to see what happens next, because I've heard rumors that Massachusetts is next, I've heard rumors that Maine is next, I've heard rumors that, what else? California was next. I know they've been really hitting hard in LA. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of things, so not really sure what to expect, but just kind of keeping my eye out and trying to do at least something, you know, which I would encourage. I can't say anything about not feeling overwhelmed because that's my entire existence is feeling overwhelmed, but at least if you at least try to do something that is helpful, I mean, then you're at least doing something that's helpful, and it feels slightly less overwhelming, kind of. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's been the winter vibes. Pretty glad that winter is almost over. I say that as a literal blizzard has been raging outside. But yeah, glad that spring's right around the corner because everything feels a little bit better in the springtime, most of the time. That has been my winter vibes. Let me know what your winter vibes have been, if there's anything that I talked about that you're like, oh hey, me too. I don't know, let me know. I hope you guys are having a great day, week, weekend, wherever you're at when you're watching this. I hope you stay safe out there, and thank you for watching. Thank you for always watching. If you're new here and would like to subscribe, please indeed do so, and I will see you guys next time.